hey, if you look up Jim's Art Studio, they have this beautiful Ukrainian sunflower. It's absolutely worth checking out. All the profits are going to go to help Ukrainian charity, so please check it out. It'll be great. All the links will be below in the description and probably here in the picture. But yeah, go help them out. Ukrainians are going through hell right now.
This Organized Chaos video is brought to you by Jim's Art Studio. Jim's Art Studio is an online store that allows access to prints that you can use for most anything, obviously as just a picture, or as a wallpaper, or as a bookmark, or anything you can think of. You can find Jim's Art Studio at etsy.com/shop/Jim's Art Studio. This video is also brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Lots of talk recently of Elon Musk and Twitter. And I thought I'd go ahead and take a little bit of time to break it down, because I've noticed Ben Shapiro here has a video on it that is actually doing quite well. 1.6 million views in 3 days. I know he's a popular YouTuber, but that is insane numbers even for him. The real reason Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter. And before we even begin to go into that one, which I'm almost certain he's going to get wrong, we are going to go ahead and actually look at the real reason Elon Musk is trying to buy Twitter. We're going to figure this out. We're going to put on our detective skills and figure this out, because it's a really tough mystery. You'll never be able to guess. Is it free speech? Is he really concerned how Donald Trump has been silenced on Twitter? We're going to find out, because yeah, it's actually not that much of a mystery, as you can tell. Anyways, we're going to go back in time a little bit, all the way back to April 4th. We're looking at a New York Post article talking about, if you remember all the way back then, Elon Musk buys 9% stake in Twitter days after criticizing it over free speech. So he bought 9% of Twitter. You know, and lots of people talk about, oh, wow, I think he might be like the biggest shareholder in Twitter right now. 9% won't give him a majority stake, but it could give him a plurality stake if it's split up enough. Now, here's the thing. When you look at the stock prices, all of a sudden you see a huge spike on April 4th, when this was announced that he bought this much. And then, as you see, the stock prices kind of sinks down again. But what caused it to go back up? What caused it to go back up? All of a sudden, he's announcing, hey, I put an offer on the table to buy Twitter. All of a sudden, we see the stock going back up. Now, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? I'm going to tell you what that's telling me. He bought a percentage of Twitter, and he saw the stock skyrocket. But yeah, it shot up. And then it sunk down slowly. So what he's thinking is, I have this stock, and I was able to boost it just from the idea of me buying a percentage of it. So what I'm going to do is put an offer on the table to buy the whole thing, and watch the stock price go back up. And as you can see, it's going back up it's approaching where it was before. And then just watch it go up, because it's still going up. Try to catch it on that plateau, and then sell that stock. Essentially, this is called a pump and dump. All he's doing is inflating the price of the stock he already has, and then he can sell it off. Does he have any intention to actually buy Twitter? I am not a psychic. I do not know what's going on inside his head. But just looking at these numbers, I think it's pretty clear. I would be shocked if he actually gave a shit about buying Twitter. This is him. He bought some stock in Twitter. He realized just by buying a little bit of stock in Twitter, he could boost the numbers. So now he's pretending like he'll buy the whole thing, and he's boosting numbers again. And I'd be shocked if in a day or two you don't hear about him selling off that stock. I think it's clear this is just a pump and dump game for him. He has no interest in Twitter. He uses it for his bad memes, and all of a sudden this freedom of speech thing. I'm going to find it, but there's that interview he has where he talks about his reasons for buying Twitter. And you can tell it just feels very rehearsed and kind of like, oh yeah, sure, I'm doing it for freedom of speech and whatever. Like, he's not committed to this. He's not actually buying Twitter. Let's see if we can find this. Here we go. This is a segment from Bloomberg from his TED Talk where he talks about his plans for Twitter. This was done 4 days ago.
I think it's very important for there to be an inclusive arena for free speech where all...
You see, you listen to him talking. This is not some sort of big plan he has. He's like, free speech and shit. That is what it comes off as.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square. It's just really important that people have both the reality and the perception that they are able to speak freely within the bounds of the law. So one of the things that I believe Twitter should do is open source the algorithm and make any changes to people's tweets.
And I think it's interesting watching him because this is like, I know this is an introverted guy. I'm an introverted guy, but this is also an introverted guy with lots of experience with public speaking, lots. And he just doesn't seem collected. He doesn't seem cool. He just, like algorithm and open source. And it really comes off like it really comes off like there's no plan. It really comes off like, oh yeah, free speech and shit. There's no plan. This really looks to me like a pump and dump. Look at the numbers. Look at how he's talking about it. It's a pump and dump. He has no plans for Twitter.
If they're emphasized or de-emphasized, that action should be made apparent so anyone can see that action has been taken. So there's no sort of behind-the-scenes manipulation, either algorithmically or manually.
And it's worth noting, this is a guy who started plenty of websites on his own. I know PayPal is his. Venmo? What are his websites? Okay, so this is like early days Elon Musk. He did Zip2, a web software company. He did X.com and PayPal. This is a guy who has experience with websites. Why doesn't he make his own? Why doesn't he do what all the Republicans have been failing and make an actual true free speech website? Why doesn't he do that? Because he's not actually interested in building a website. He's interested in pumping and dumping. That is what this whole thing screams. But of course, this is a video reaction series, so we are going to look at what Ben Shapiro thinks, because I'm sure he's going to get the right idea. Because
I can tell you that when they switch over the algorithms without telling you what is going on in order to minimize the reach of particular posts, this makes everyone very suspicious of one another, and it actually silos people off. I would much rather that I see more left-wing content. I do already. I'd rather see more left-wing content so long as it means I also get to see more right-wing content than see exactly what Twitter wants me to see. So Musk did an interview at a TED conference in Vancouver over the last 24 hours, and he went off on the free speech orientation of Twitter. Here's what he had to say.
If in doubt, let the speech, let it exist. It would have, if it's
Again, this doesn't seem well thought out. It doesn't seem like he has a plan to buy Twitter. Other than open source algorithm, I haven't heard a specific plan, and even open source algorithm. So, open source. What are you going to do with the algorithm? What's your goal with the algorithm?
A gray area, I would say, let the tweet exist. I do think that we want to be just very reluctant to delete things and have just be very cautious with permanent bans.
Of course, he's exactly correct about all of this. He said any action should be made apparent so anyone can see what is happening behind the scenes. So there's no manipulation, either algorithmically or manually, which, of course, is something we've been calling for here at the Daily Wire for quite a while, is if you're going to manipulate us, at least show us what manipulation is taking place. Don't make us...
And I like that, he doesn't even say he's not going to manipulate you. I'm just going to make it transparent.
Kind of shoot in the dark for how you are suppressing information or not suppressing information. That suspicion, by the way, is what leads to the rise of conspiracism. Because if I don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but I know you're doing something to screw with how my speech is distributed.
So, I mean, I feel like he's just taking it on face value that Elon Musk is buying Twitter, which I'm not, because that's not what the stock numbers tell me. That's not what they're telling me.
Behind closed doors, this makes me more likely to believe conspiracy theories about exactly what it is that you are doing and what it is that you are thinking. Musk continued by saying that it's important that we have broadly inclusive platforms, that the play that he's making for Twitter is not predominantly a profit-driven play, which, by the way, I'm sure is true. There are a lot of people saying, no, it is a profit-driven play for Musk. Well, I mean, profit, I'm sure, is involved because Musk is a very, very wealthy man who doesn't make stupid economic decisions as a general matter. However, there are better investments than Twitter. I think that Musk actually does believe that he makes a world of difference by getting involved in platforms like Twitter and opening them up.
Or by pumping and dumping on Ben.
My strong intuitive sense is that having a public platform that is maximally trusted and broadly inclusive is extremely important to the future of civilization.
He is absolutely correct about this. If we can't have platforms where we at least argue and discuss with one another, if there's a feeling that you have to be on a different platform in order to discuss politics than Twitter, and Twitter is just for the left-wingers, it's amazing. Everybody on the left is constantly worried about
Twitter is just for the left-wingers? That's news to me.
News siloing, about information siloing. You guys created the silos. You are the ones who are hardening the silos. We know what you are doing. On a business level, Musk says,
does he even have a source for any of that? He's just saying... That thing drives me nuts. Ben Shapiro just says shit. And then, what, we just take him as
he's
word?
not sure that he's going to be able to acquire Twitter. There's already been pushback from some of the investors, including a Saudi prince who's a major Twitter shareholder. His name is Al-Walid bin Talal. He took to Twitter to say he was already rejecting the entrepreneur's cash offer for the social media platform because it was apparently too low. Musk, for his part, he then tweeted, you know what, why don't you ask the shareholders whether it's too low? He said, quote, it would be utterly indefensible not to put this offer to a shareholder vote. They own the company, not the board of directors. He also pointed out in a filing that you guys, there's been like Goldman Sachs reports showing exactly how much the company is worth, and I'm offering you more than the company is worth. He posted the Goldman Sachs rating for the company according to Daily Wire.
And yeah, all this stuff, all this publicity, he's driving up the stock price. That's what all this stuff is. Let's talk about more. This video might even drive up the stock price. Let's talk about this more. It's all his plan.
He said, quote, if the current Twitter board takes actions contrary to shareholder interest, they would be breaching their fiduciary duty. The liability, they would thereby assume, would be titanic in scale. And he posted a screenshot of Goldman Sachs' equity research rating for Twitter, saying that the company was a sell stock as it was falling behind performance forecasts, which of course is true. They lost a lot of money last year. They lost a lot of money the year before. According to Goldman Sachs, in analyzing Twitter's Q4 21 earnings report and forward operating commentary, a few key themes, many of them reiteration of the past year, were front and center. First, Twitter management expressed optimism on the ability to grow users at an accelerated pace versus prior periods. However, we remain below that forecast. Second, Twitter remains in investment mode against goals aimed at user growth, product innovation, and advertising diversification. So he's saying, you guys keep saying that it's worth a lot of money, but I've noticed that you guys keep losing money. And then when I offer to pay you a lot more money than the stock is actually worth, you're telling me no, right? He is offering $54.20. The stock is currently valued at somewhere between $43 and $47, kind of bouncing around a little bit. So he's offering a pretty solid premium above what the actual public stock price is worth. And a bunch of people are saying they don't want to sell their stock. That has a lot less to do, I have a feeling, with people not willing to make profit because they really think the upward trajectory of Twitter is strong.
Yeah, because he's building up a lot of publicity for him. The stock's higher than it has been. It really reeks of pump and dump, Ben. How are you not looking at this?
And a lot more to do with the simple fact that they don't like the idea that Musk is going to come in and open up the business. We'll get to more on Elon Musk taking over.
Him taking over the business, talk of him taking over the business is boosting stock prices. So I don't know how they dislike that.
For Twitter in just 1 second. First, my sleep quality.
Oh God, this little itty bitty video has a fucking commercial. I feel like 5 minutes in and we haven't gone to anything Ben is just throwing stock price shit ass. I already did a stock analysis way better than you did. Oh my God, how much commercials do we have? Okay.
helixsleep.com/Ben. You can see this from the commentary. So, for example, you have Scott Kessler, Vice President and Global Lead for Technology at Third Bridge, a research firm, quote, "Sometimes when people are idealistic or aspirational, they don't think about the other side of these considerations. Reducing harassment is something the company spent a lot of time and money on over the last couple years. I think by many accounts, they've done a pretty good job." Joan Donovan, research director at Harvard Kennedy's Shorenstein Center on Media, Politics, and Public Policy, said reducing the harm caused by online campaigns targeting minorities.
So what? You're just taking Elon Musk as word for it? You've already brought up that he's a rich guy. He knows how to make money. This is clearly a scheme to make money. He has 9% of Twitter. He's boosting up that stock price, and then he's going to sell it. Easy. It's not a complex theory. What, you think he's playing 10D chess here? Figuring out, I'm going to buy Twitter for free speech because I believe in free speech? No. He believes in money.
And other vulnerable groups needs to be a priority in the C-suite. Musk does not seem concerned with that. Now, I've noticed that they keep quoting people who have never owned a business. They're quoting a lot of people who are experts and academics, people who work for places like the Harvard Kennedy Shorenstein Center on Media, research directors. And you know what they aren't? Billionaires. And there is a reason they're not billionaires.
So what, you have to be a billionaire to comment on this, Ben?
Now, there's some equity analysts who are saying, no. The real reason that Twitter is doing this is because they want to be more advertiser-friendly. But here is the thing. When you have as many users as Twitter has, advertisers will find a way to advertise on your platform. And all these sort of gutlessness where they say, advertisers might run screaming away from our platform. Yeah, no, they won't. Advertisers will deal with it. And what they will say is the same thing that advertisers should always say, which is, we're not responsible for every comment on Twitter. We just advertise on Twitter because that's where the eyeballs are, which is the way the business is supposed to work in the first place. Musk did say he's not sure that he's going to be able to acquire Twitter because, of course, the board is attempting to put all these poison pills in the deal. Here was Musk yesterday.
And I'm not sure that I will actually be able to acquire it. And I should also say the intent is to retain as many shareholders as is allowed by the law in a private company, which I think is around 2,000 or so. So it's not like it's definitely not from the standpoint of let me figure out how to monopolize or maximize my ownership of Twitter.
Musk also said that there
because he has no plan to buy it.
might be a plan B if plan A fails, meaning if he does not have his offer accepted, then there might be something on the horizon here.
No, probably more likely if it doesn't reach the price that he wants to sell the stock at, then he'll try something else.
So you don't like to lose. If in this case you are not successful in, the board does not accept your offer, you've said you won't go higher, is there a plan B?
There is.
I think we would like to hear a little bit about plan B.
For another time, I think.
Another time?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, good for him. Good for him. So a lot of people on the right are celebrating Musk. A lot of people on the left are very angry at Musk. I mean, listen, I think Musk is doing amazing work. I mean, first of all, he's an amazing...
What is he doing that's amazing? What is he doing that's so amazing, Ben? Launching people into space like we could do 50 years ago? Ooh, impressive.
Entrepreneur. He's revitalized the space program in the United States. Tesla's an incredible company. And he is one of the great entrepreneurial stories of the 21st century, maybe the best entrepreneurial story of the 21st century. And the fact that he is now dipping his toe into these waters in an attempt to broaden freedom of speech makes him somewhat heroic.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe this video is almost done. I realize all this video is Ben just fucking creaming over me, Elon Musk. This is all this is. Jesus Christ, man. You're not even analyzing. Musk didn't give you much to work with on how he's going to make it more free, so you don't have much to say. So you're just going to cream all over him. Isn't Musk great?
I'm not going to put any sort of shine on this. It is a heroic act to take your money and put it where your mouth is. If you believe that Twitter is doing a
heroic act. Oh my God. It's so brave to be a fucking billionaire,
job
right?
In preventing content from being disseminated to the public, and then you decide to take billions of dollars and plop them on the table. This is an act of actual free speech heroism. We're in a battle for the culture and for our values. Like and subscribe.
Wow. Oh my God. So what Ben Shapiro has actually done is pretty much make my case for me. Because there is no substance for that. There's no substance for that. because there's nothing to his offer. Has no free speech plan for the platform. He literally is doing a pump and dump. That's all this is. He's not some sort of hero. He's a fucking billionaire. Oh, wow. Wow, any doubt I had before? No, it's a pump and dump. If he doesn't just wait for it to max out and then sell, I'd be shocked. If he actually buys Twitter, I'll be shocked. You can call me an idiot in the comments after he buys Twitter, which isn't happening. But you know what? You'll call me an idiot anyway, so it doesn't matter. You'll call me much worse than an idiot. Idiot would actually be a polite thing to call me compared to what I've been called recently. Yeah. This is he's pumping and dumping the stock. I mean, it's clear to see when you look. Look, stock shot up when I bought a part of it. So now I'll pretend like I'm going to buy all of it, shoot up the stock, and then we'll see what happens and how much I can sell it off at. That's all he's trying to do. It's clear as day now. Thank you, Ben, for making that so much clearer for me.
They think order and chaos are somehow opposites and try to control what won't be.
I used to fuck guys like you in prison.